Anthropic just accidentally leaked their most dangerous AI model yet, and the cybersecurity implications are keeping markets awake at night. As always, this is big. So Anthropic, as we all know, is an AI safety company that positions itself as a responsible lab. However, they just had a spectacular security failure. They left a draft blog post sitting in an unsecured, publicly searchable store, and that post revealed the existence of Claude Mythos, their next generation AI model that clearly weren't ready to announce. That's pretty rookie error, to be fair. Anthropic's internal codename for this is Capybara, but Mythos is what they're calling it publicly. And when Anthropic's spokesman finally had to respond to the leak, they called Mythos, quote, a step change in AI performance and the most capable thing they've made to date. So let that sink in for a second. This sits above Opus and it's larger, more capable and more expensive to run. But here's where things get absolutely wild. The leaked documents show that Mythos posts dramatically higher scores than Opus across software coding benchmarks, academic reasoning tasks and cybersecurity evaluations. And the last part, that's where everyone starts to freak out, because the internal documents literally warn that Mythos could significantly heighten cybersecurity threats by rapidly finding and exploring software vulnerabilities at scale. Think about that for a second. We're talking about an AI that can find zero-day vulnerabilities faster than human security teams can patch them. Analysts are already warning this could accelerate a cyber arms race between state actors and criminal organizations. The economics of cyber attack versus defense just fundamentally shifted. And the irony here is just, well, incredible to be fair. Anthropic built their whole entire brand around being a safety-first AI company. They're the ones that are lecturing everyone else about being responsible in development, and they just leak details of what might be the most dangerous model through a basic CMS configuration error. Human error, they called it. Honestly, that's not the kind of human error you want when you're building the systems that could potentially reshape global cybersecurity. So some numbers here. Bitcoin and software stocks took a hit in the wake of this leak, and that tells you everything you need to know about how seriously markets are taking AI cybersecurity now. CoinDesk is reporting that investors are suddenly pricing in for the possibility that models like Mythos could systematically exploit vulnerabilities in financial infrastructure. That isn't just theory anymore. When a leaked AI model moves markets, that's when you know we've crossed into a new phase. The fact that crypto specifically dropped suggests people are more worried about blockchain security at scale, which, yeah, that makes sense when you have an AI that can potentially find patches faster than patches can be deployed. So policy, Euronews is calling the Mythos an unprecedented cybersecurity risk, and European regulators are already making noise about mandatory AI capability disclosures. Here's the thing though, this leak is going to fuel calls for pre-released safety audits, particularly in the EU and the UK, where things are already working on comprehensive AI regulation. The timing couldn't be worse for Anthropic, because now they have a poster child on what we need to do for mandatory disclosure requirements. When the safety company can't keep its own secrets safe, that's a regulatory gift that just keeps on giving. So a few launches. Futurism is diving deep into what step change actually means in terms of capability, and the leaked benchmarks are generally mind-blowing. We're talking about performance improvements that aren't incremental. This is a quantum leap into reasoning and coding ability. But here's the question that nobody's actually asking. If Anthropic isn't planning on releasing this at this stage, what does the accidental leak do for their actual timeline? Do we have to rush Mythos into market now? Do they pull back and redesign the safety protocols? Either way, OpenAI and Google just got a very unwelcome preview of what they're competing against. TechZine is reporting that this leak represents a fundamental shift in how AI labs handle capability disclosure. And they're right. The old model of controlled announcements and staged releases just got completely blown up by the CMS configuration error. It's almost poetic. The sophisticated AI model gets revealed through the most basic infrastructure mistake. But seriously, this changes the game for every AI lab. If Anthropic can accidentally leak their own crown jewels, what does it say about information across the entire industry? Low Code Agency is analysing what this means for Anthropic's valuation and funding prospects. And honestly, this could go either way. On the one hand, they've just revealed a model that dramatically outperforms their current offerings. That's potentially huge for the next funding round. On the other hand, they've just demonstrated they can't secure their own infrastructure, which, not great when you're asking for inventors to trust you with billions of dollars and potentially world-changing technology. The cybersecurity implications alone could make investors very nervous about regulatory back. Now, the one thing that you need to know today. Everyone's focused on the cybersecurity angle of the Mythos leak, and yeah, it's important. But investing live is picking up on something much bigger that people are missing. The leak just revealed that we have two massive capability overhanging problems in AI development. Here's what I mean. Anthropic clearly has Mythos in development for months, maybe longer. They are planning a careful staged release, probably with safety testing, red team exercises, the whole responsible development playbook like we've seen before. but now they're forced to respond to a leak with incomplete information and zero control over the narrative. Think about the implications here. If Anthropic has a model that dramatically outperforms Opus sitting in their labs, what do OpenAI and Google have in their labs? What about the Chinese labs? Their capability overhang, the gap between what's possible and what's publicly available, just got exposed as potentially massive. And here's the scary part that nobody's talking about. If models like Mythos can find and exploit vulnerabilities at scale, but they're being deployed as secret behind closed doors, how do we even begin to defend against that? Cybersecurity communities can't harden against systems they don't even know exist. This leak didn't just reveal one model, it revealed that the entire AI deployment of ecosystems is operating in secrecy and with more capability. We're not just talking about Anthropic anymore, we're talking about a fundamental transparency problem across the entire industry. Does anybody else find this completely wild? The safety company just accidentally proved that AI development is way less transparent and way more dangerous than we thought. That is not a cybersecurity problem, that is an existential one. That's your dispatch. Anthropic just leaked the most capable model through the most basic security error. Markets are pricing in AI-driven cybersecurity risk, and the capability overhang just got exposed as potentially massive. The safety company just proved AI development is less safe than everyone realised. We're back tomorrow with what's moving next. Subscribe if you want to stay ahead of the intelligence curve, because clearly even the AI labs don't even know what's coming next.